Type it, please. It's okay. I know. No one likes the keyboard. It's very small keys. Can somebody find on the common writing errors list which one this is? Ryan? Sorry? Nope. Because remember what Sydney just said, this is what I circled. Abby? Which number are you on there? 16. No. Inappropriate adjectives means that you're using one that is the wrong word. This is not a wrong word, Abby. This is a weak word. So if I say great, what does great literally mean? Do you know what great literally means? No. No, it means big. Great equals, it's an intensifier of large. So if you say I had a great time, literally you're saying I had a big time. Which, when you think about it, really? Okay. But a slang way of speaking includes great meaning good or excellent. But that's technically not what it means. So that's an incorrect adjective, not a weak adjective. Okay, if it's not 16, it's hard because the word very is not actually listed. Is that what you have, Mitch, 24? No, absolutes are a little bit different. If I say something is perfect, this is, an absolute means either yes or no on perfect. It's either perfect or it's imperfect. There is no less perfect or more perfect. So let me say size. Can I be big, bigger, and biggest? That makes sense, right? Can I be perfect, perfecter, and perfectest? No. There's no degree of perfect, right? So if you were to say less perfect than somebody, technically you don't make sense. You're either perfect or you're not. Melissa's correct. It's number 24. We can call this a weak intensifier. What do I mean by intensifier? That's right. It's making whatever it's describing stronger. Thank you, Paul. You use very. What other words do you use in the same way? So. And there's one other. I didn't have a good time. I had a... No. I want to intensify good. What would you attach to good? Really. Thank you. Very, so, really. These are the common weak intensifiers. They're so overused, they're so generic, that they cannot actually intensify in any sort of dynamic way. We have two choices. Either we replace this with a better intensifier, or we take both of those out and insert a better word that combines both. What do you want? Right. Furious is the word that I was thinking of. You could say extremely angry. And I probably said this before, I'll say it again. It always resonates with me how Stephen King in his book on writing says that adverbs are basically the devil. He hates adverbs. Why? Because he thinks that people use them weakly. Extremely angry, why not just say furious? So King is stamping his foot and saying, folks, learn words. Shakespeare was a fantastic writer because he had this incredibly massive vocabulary that includes words that you can use rather than just putting two words together to make what you could do with one word. So you're correct. You could do that. However, what's going to happen if you keep doing that is instead of using very, so, and really, you'll just use extremely all the time. And pretty soon that one will become nonsense. So what you really need to do is try to find a way to use words like furious. Do we have anybody else who has seen a so, very, or really that we can play around with? Weak intensifier? I would especially love it if you said he was so very really upset. That would be wonderful. It's a simple revision, by the way. If you're having trouble with this and you know that you have trouble because you speak in a slangish way, then Control F. In fact, some of you have problems with word choices. There, thing, so, very, really. You should make a list of those problem words based upon your past experiences. You should keep that list next to you during the revision process, and you should do a Control F and say, I'm going to look for this word. Oh, didn't find it. I will look for this one. Oh, didn't find it. Okay, and that will really help you just proof that out of your writing. I just said really. See, even I do it. No others? Yes, Melissa. More unique is the intensifier issue. So, yeah, uniquer. I'm uniquer. It's another good word. I love made-up words. Yeah, Paul. I could say I am less than perfect as sort of a poetic expression, sure. So, yeah. Well, let's talk about that for a moment. So, Paul, take the keyboard, wherever the keyboard may be. Okay, let's. Sweet, thank you, Tim. It's okay. So let's talk about this. Paul, I'd like you to try the two versions that you have there. You say, I am less than perfect. What was the other one you were trying? I am less perfect. Well, write, I am less than perfect. And then write, I am imperfect. I am so perfect. That's right. I'm really perfect. I'm so very, really perfect. Yeah. Good. Perfect. Thank you, Paul. All right. Haha. Which one do you like? Kind of like, Melissa, why do you like the first one? Why? It is a bit more poetic, right? It's a little bit more showy. You're saying, hey, I'm close to perfect, but not quite there. Whereas, okay, I'll illustrate it graphically. Man, I had this in my brain. Okay, so here we got perfect. Can I write vertically? I can. All right. Good, good. So here we have perfect. Now, in order for me to achieve perfection, I must solve a number of problems in my life, cut out a number of bad habits, improve a number of skills, what have you. So I must, let's say that this is a meter. Each time I solve one of these bad habits or I improve one of these skills, I am drawing closer and closer to being perfect. I think that sometimes we see perfection not as this or that, but as a scale of development. And that's why I'm using this meter. Once I've achieved this certain point, once I've accomplished all of these goals, I will be perfect. And by Paul saying, I am less than perfect, he's implying I'm just a little bit over here. Not quite there. And that may be the way we think about personal development and growth. And to say, I am less than perfect means I'm a pretty good person, but I'm not quite there to perfect. To say that you're imperfect could mean you are anywhere on this continuum. You could be all the way down here. You could be in negative territory, way over there. So perhaps less than perfect implies all of this associated meaning. By the way, all of this associated meaning may be the way we think about it, but it's all wrong. because you're either perfect or you're not. That's it. There are no degrees. That's not how the word is supposed to work. But this is how we think about the word. So when I say I'm less than perfect, I mean I'm close. I'm a good person, but I'm less than perfect. I'm human. Saying I am imperfect is a little bit less poetic, maybe captures a little bit less of what we mean. Anybody else find so, varies, or reallys? What you got? Oh, I'm normal or I'm abnormal? I'm more normal or I'm less normal? Technically, normal well, let's think about what normal means. Normal means, sorry, Abby? That's true. Normal, 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 normal. And having grown up in the 80s, I remember Garfield comics with the cat named Nermal. Nermal, 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 that's even worse. And I have a cold, so it's on top of it. Normal. What does the word normal mean? The word normal is an adjective form of the verb or of the noun norm, not somebody's name. What is the norm in mathematics or science? The average. What does average mean? Normal. Thank you. Tim, I can always count on you for giving the correct yet useless answer. All right, the average. So if the average height of American males is, oh, I don't know, what would you guess it is? Isn't it? I think somewhere around 5'10" or so. 5'10", 5'11". So if you are an American male and you are 5'10", then you are normal, scientifically. If you are an American male and you are 5'9", you are abnormal, scientifically. That's right. Grow up, literally. It's good enough time to discuss this distinction in language. I know it's a vocab word. Colloquial means the way that common people speak terms. It includes slang. It includes this sort of issue. What does normal mean when you speak it? When you use the word normal and say, oh, I'm not feeling normal today, or that person is not normal. Socially accepted? Just different. That's right. So normal means expected and abnormal means different. Brian, did you have an idea? We might mean the word normal in a different way. Now, where am I going with this entire discussion? The discussion is going to here. Take a look at 22. You cannot use absolutes like perfect or unique in degree. For example, never write more perfect than. If you want to be technical and literal and precise, then you go to the technical, literal, and precise definition of the term. If you are speaking colloquially, if you're just speaking commonly, then quite often these words change their meaning. And the word normal may now mean a whole host of other issues than just scientific reference to an average. The word perfect might actually mean something different. You might mean degrees of perfection, whereas literally there are no degrees of perfection. Advanced use of language and advanced writing and precision in, remember what we're talking about in this class, we're not talking about all forms of writing, we're talking about clear, analytical, no-nonsense, very basic, straightforward writing, should adhere to a more literal definition of terms. And when you are saying different, say different. If you are saying expected, say expected. If you are saying somebody acts like everybody else in a certain community acts, then maybe you should say that. Be careful about how you use some of these terms. And the common writing errors is all about being careful about using terms. So there you go. All right, good enough. Class is almost over.